Look straight ahead right now. Your nose is there. It has always been there. It is directly in your line of sight, sitting right at the center of your visual field, every second of every day. And yet you are not seeing it, not because it disappeared, not because your eyes moved away from it, but because your brain decided somewhere along the way that your nose was not worth showing you. Your brain is editing your reality right now without telling you. And your nose is just the beginning. The human eye is often compared to a camera. Light enters, hits the retina, and an image is formed, but that comparison is wrong in a way that changes everything. A camera records whatever is in front of it, faithfully, without judgment, without editing. What the lens captures is what the image shows. Your brain does not work that way. What you see is not what your eyes capture. What you see is a construction, a model of the world built by your brain using visual data as raw material. Your brain edits, fills in, suppresses, and sometimes completely invents parts of the image you think you are seeing. The nose is one of the most elegant demonstrations of this. But the deeper you look at how vision actually works, the stranger it becomes, until you realize that the world you think you are seeing is not the world at all. It is a story your brain is telling you about the world. Let's walk through exactly how this happens, step by step. Step 1. The nose is always there. Your nose occupies a significant portion of your lower visual field at all times. If you close one eye right now and focus, you will see it. Blurry, soft-edged, but undeniably present. Open both eyes and focus normally. It disappears. This is not an optical illusion. Your eyes are still receiving light reflected from your nose. The information is entering your visual system. But somewhere between the eye and conscious perception, your brain is making a decision. This is constant. This is unimportant. Suppress it. Step 2. The brain's filtering system. Your brain receives an enormous amount of sensory data every second, far more than conscious awareness could ever process. If your brain showed you everything your senses detected, you would be completely overwhelmed. So your brain filters. It prioritizes new information over constant information, changing signals over static ones. Anything that stays the same for long enough gets deprioritized, removed from conscious awareness, even though the sensory data is still arriving. Your nose has been in the same place, producing the same visual signal, your entire life. To your brain, it has become background noise, and background noise gets deleted from the conscious picture. 3. The blind spot you never notice. Here is where it gets stranger. Every human eye has a blind spot, a point on the retina called the optic disc, where the optic nerve connects and where there are no photoreceptors at all. A small but real region of your visual field produces no visual information whatsoever. You do not see a black dot or a hole in your vision. You see a continuous, seamless image because your brain fills it in. It takes the information from the surrounding visual field and extrapolates. It invents the content of the blind spot based on what it expects should be there. You are, right now, looking at a partly fabricated image, a portion of what you think you see your brain made up. Step 4. Saccades and the smoothness illusion. Your eyes are never actually still. Even when you think you are staring at a fixed point, your eyes are making tiny, rapid, unconscious movements called saccades, darting from point to point dozens of times per second. During each saccade, your visual input is essentially scrambled. The image is blurry and unstable, and yet your experience of vision is smooth, stable, and continuous. Because your brain suppresses the visual input during saccades, a process called saccadic suppression, and then stitches together the stable images from between the movements into a seamless experience. You are not watching a video, you are watching a slideshow that your brain has assembled into the illusion of a movie. Here's where neuroscience reveals just how deep this goes. The visual cortex, the region of the brain that processes vision, receives raw data from the eyes. But that raw data is incomplete, ambiguous, and often contradictory. Edges blend, colors shift depending on context. Depth is implied rather than directly perceived. The brain's job is not to report this raw data. Its job is to interpret it, to build the most plausible model of the world that the data is consistent with. This is called predictive processing. Your brain is constantly generating predictions about what the world should look like based on prior experience. When incoming sensory data matches the prediction, it is used to update the model. When it doesn't match, when something unexpected appears, the mismatch triggers attention. This is why motion catches your eye, why a sudden sound makes you look, why something out of place feels immediately wrong. Your brain is not reacting to all stimuli equally. It is specifically alert to violations of its predictions, to things that don't fit the model. Your nose never violates any prediction. It is exactly where the brain expects it to be, always. So it never triggers attention. And what never triggers attention eventually gets edited out of conscious awareness entirely. The astonishing implication of predictive processing is this: what you perceive is not primarily driven by what is in front of you. It is primarily driven by what your brain expects to be in front of you. Reality is the correction to the prediction, not the input itself. But here is the twist that makes this unsettling in a way that goes beyond just vision. If your brain edits your visual experience, suppressing the nose, filling in the blind spot, smoothing over saccades, what else is it editing? The answer, according to Neuroscience, is a great deal. Studies have shown that people reliably fail to notice large unexpected changes in their visual field, a phenomenon called change blindness. In famous experiments, people watching a film did not notice when the main character changed between cuts. In real-world tests, people having a conversation did not notice when the person they were speaking to was replaced by a different person during a brief distraction. The brain does not record reality like a camera. It samples it, taking what it needs to maintain its current model and ignoring the rest. And when something changes but the model doesn't need to update, the change is simply not registered. You are not seeing the world. You are seeing your brain's working model of the world, and that model has significant gaps, shortcuts, and assumptions built into it. So here is what this actually means. Every experience you have ever had, every face you have seen, every landscape you have walked through, every moment you remember as vivid and real, was a construction. A rendering built by your brain from incomplete data, shaped by prediction, filtered for relevance, and delivered to your consciousness as if it were a direct recording of reality. The world you have experienced your entire life is not the world as it is. It is the world as your brain modeled it. This is not a small caveat. This is a fundamental fact about the nature of human experience. Two people standing in the same room, looking at the same thing, are not having the same visual experience. Their brains are building slightly different models based on slightly different prior experiences, expectations, and attentional states. Reality, as experienced, is personal. It is constructed, and it is always, to some degree, incomplete. Here's the thought that should stay with you. You have spent your entire life trusting your senses as a window onto reality. What you see felt like what was there. What you heard felt like what happened. What you remembered felt like what occurred, but your senses are not windows. They are instruments, and your brain is the interpreter. And the interpreter has priorities, shortcuts, and blind spots of its own. The nose you cannot see is not a quirk. It is a feature. It is the brain doing exactly what it evolved to do, stripping away the constant, the irrelevant, and the predictable so that attention can focus on what matters. On change, on threat, on opportunity. The cost of that efficiency is that you have never once seen the world exactly as it is. But here is the remarkable thing. Despite all the editing, all the gap filling, all the prediction, the model your brain builds is good enough. Good enough to navigate the world, to recognize faces, to catch a falling object, to drive a car through busy streets. The brain built an imperfect picture of reality and used it to build civilization. So the next time you look in a mirror and notice your nose, remember, your brain usually decides it's not worth your attention, and it has been making that decision every single second of your life.